oh, I got to be mean to you. I have to actually be mean to you. And that's where it goes back to where, like, are you really trying to tiptoe around?
No, I'm trying to make my strikes count to do maximum damage.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to do.
What's the meme? If you can't say something nice, say something clever but devastating.
You nailed it.
Welcome. Thank you for playing early access version of Wizordum.
Wizordum.
Early access. So the game's not done.
Hell yeah.
It's developed by Emberheart Studios and/or Games. I don't remember what. Emberheart is the main part of that.
Sure.
Games or Studios, one of the two. Anyway, it's published by Apogee. Do you remember Apogee? Remember that math game, that PC game we played a million years ago?
I do, yeah.
A little bit, and I was like, Apogee. Yeah.
It's an older name, but it checks out.
Anyway, they published this. It's great. Let's go.
You have been kind of playing this. I am unfamiliar with this, so you're going to have to, like, fill me in, too.
I've been playing this for about 3 hours now. It was on sale. Currently, the Steam spring sale is in full swing. And I said, yeah, I'll buy a game. It was $12. It's in early access, so the first 2 episodes are done. The 3rd episode comes out next month in April.
Cool.
So maybe we'll play the 3rd episode when it came out. The Thesaurus. It's hard to say the too soon.
So that's the game, but what are we doing?
Oh, right. Oh, shit.
Yeah, you remember.
Come on, the show.
You know the words. Come on, you can do it.
What's the name of it? Welcome back to Watson James Don't Play. My name is James.
And I'm Watson.
Sometimes
we did an oldie. We just did our names.
Sometimes I just have to remind the people that I'm actually James.
And I'm Watson.
And he's actually Watson.
Yeah.
And this thing is called the Spell Striker or something, and it's basically this game's shotgun.
You know, there's a TV show called Watson now. It's about Sherlock Holmes's, Dr. Watson.
His bottom bitch.
It's on one of those.
Is that what it is?
One of those channels I don't watch. It's like just regular CBS or whatever.
Oh, right.
It's like a network TV.
Ooh, I got a hot take. We'll get it out of the way real quick.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so True Blood, been watching a lot of it. We talked about it a little bit last time.
I need to know where you are in True Blood.
I would say I'm near the end of season 4.
Okay, so you've done like a whole nother season since last week.
Big time spoilers. If you've never seen True Blood, I'm going to say something that spoils the show.
Yeah, that's where I wanted people to know where you were. So if they haven't gotten that far, fast forward a couple minutes.
Marnie was just shot in the head by Bill.
Yeah. And
I go, that was a little heavy-handed.
You think something that happened on True Blood was a little heavy-handed?
Yes. I said, Bill.
They had a character named Eggs who got his brains blown out.
He does. God, and it's brutal.
Made Eggs Benedict out of its fucking head.
My hot take is that I couldn't help but compare it to other shows of its ilk.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Vampire Diaries comes to mind.
It's like a CW show on HBO.
Correct.
Like, the writing is very CW, but the sex and violence is very HBO.
And that's what's weird about it for me, because I go, the whole time watching it, I go, man, I like Supernatural a lot more than True Blood.
True Blood just goes there. It's just like, yeah, why not? This guy can just explode. It's fine.
Right. But as far as, like, comparing those kinds of shows to each other, I would prefer watching Supernatural to True Blood. And
you like the slightly nerfed version.
Maybe that's not fair to compare the two. I don't know.
No, I think it is because they're essentially striving to do the same thing.
Right.
Right? Just under different constraints.
Different pretenses, yeah, for sure.
Like, it's when you tell somebody, hey, I want you to do this project for me. If you give them carte blanche, you'll get one thing. But if you say, I need you to do this project for me, but here's 3 things that you can't do, you'll get a completely different thing. Right?
Right.
So it's interesting to see how these shows kind of solve those episode ideas, those different problems and network standards to make what is essentially just a silly supernatural show that's going to make people feel like they got to see a little bit of violence, feel like they got to see a little bit of sex, all that stuff, titillate people, but still fall on network TV. Whereas HBO is more like, I don't know, just have her topless. I don't care. Like,
you know what? Anna, go ahead and get your tits out.
Which is just like, all right.
Okay.
That's cool once.
And then, like,
does kind of lose.
Keep doing it.
You know what I mean? I like shows that find a good balance where they can do things, but they don't always. Like Schitt's Creek having one F word.
Yeah.
Becomes a fun game of.
Let's find the F.
There's the F in this episode.
Right.
I don't think there's any nudity on it, but they managed to do plenty of BJ jokes, you know.
Right, yeah.
So I think the really good shows maybe aren't the most of anything. I think the really lasting shows are the ones that find a balance. You know,
right.
Talking TV 14, TV 16, not X-rated, not TVY 7.
Cloak of invisibility. Become visible for enemies for 15 seconds. Enemies damage time to start attacking, while your previous angered enemies will cease to attack you. But I'm going to keep watching True Blood because I started it, so I'm going to finish it.
And because you like it.
I do enjoy it. It's great.
You kind of like it.
I got to see what happens next.
Like, we are fully aware of how silly, and we are not disparaging it for being crazy gory and crazy, you know, nudity filled and all that stuff.
Right, yeah.
We're not disparaging it. We are absolutely watching it. And I've watched it multiple times. It's just a show I've had on in the background for years. You know, it's just kind of always in the rotation because there's always something going on. You know?
So this is what happens in these games. There's a switch somewhere that opens something. I don't know where it is.
Or what it does.
Or what it does. But what I wanted to do with this game is I wanted to play for a while and get some cool shit, you know?
Ideally, we would be showing you cool stuff right now.
There it is. All right. So some of the stuff is not always obvious where you're supposed to go.
I like your rings.
This is a staircase. So, yeah, these are my weapons. I have fire rings. They shoot fireballs. This is the Spell Striker, which essentially it shoots arcane rocks.
Okay.
So,
sure.
Shoots magic rocks. It's the shotgun of the game.
We could just put arcane in front of any word.
And this is the Frost Weaver. Shoots ice cubes.
Oh, Frost.
This is my mace.
Weaver.
I hit shit with it.
Sure.
It's dope.
I had to explain to somebody the difference between a mace and a morning star the other day.
There is a difference. Oh, I was just down here. This was the secret that I found.
Yeah, there's a difference.
I thought I was making progress. Nope. Just the secret that I found.
Just kind of finding
these
secrets.
I found some arcane rocks.
Oh, that's like ammo for your shooter,
Ammo for my shooter. Hey, there's a guy. All right, here we go.
Yeah, they're popping up.
You know you're going the right way when the enemies start popping up. You're like, all right, I'm making progress. Here we go.
You know, I was walking through Jedi Fallen Order, just having fun earlier today.
Yeah, just seeing what you can get up to.
And it was the same kind of thing. It was like, wait, where do I go? I was on, what was it, Dathomir? The place where fucking Darth Maul comes from.
Dathomir sucks, man.
Dathomir is tough.
It's the shitty planet.
It's a very tough planet.
It's a good thing that these people that live on these planets only live on like one small island in the planet, and the rest of the planet, I assume, is uninhabitable.
Seems to be background painting mostly, yes.
Right. You know planets are big, right, Star Wars?
Do you know planets have multiple ecosystems usually?
You telling me there's one clan on this whole fucking planet? One tribe of people?
And they call each other brother and sister. That can't be good for repopulating.
And they're just fucking.
It's got to be bad for your bloodlines, right?
A lot of diabetes, a lot of inbreeding. More than you'd expect. Ooh, new enemy.
But yeah, I was wandering around and just being like, oh, yep, there's some spiders over there, but that's where I'm supposed to go.
Right. If you find the enemies, this is the direction you're supposed to go.
Which is nice. I like games that just are like, over here, stupid, I'll put a couple enemies.
I had to turn down the smoothness on this game a little bit. It was giving me a fucking headache.
It's looking sharp.
It was too... this smooth now.
That's what I'm saying. It looks good right now.
Before I turned the settings down, it was like water. And I'm like, I can't fucking... I'm going to throw up.
I like this. It kind of reminds me of like a fantasy-skinned Doom.
That's the vibe.
That's very much the vibe that I'm getting. And look, kudos. Perfect. No notes. That's great.
Yeah.
Make more games like this.
It's a lot of fun. I don't play many new games that come out. Not really. I'm not interested in a lot. But I see a cool Doom clone or a cool Wolfenstein clone like this. I'll give it a shot.
I want to see what people can do in these.
Right.
You know?
I'm
always
a wizard.
into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Make me a wizard and make the game cool. I'm sold. I'll buy it. I'll play it. I'll do whatever.
Learn the gift of divine touch. Divine blast knowledge consumed. Okay, great.
No, because you don't want to know what you're going to have to do to learn divine touch. I've been to this church camp before.
It's a bad time.
It's a bad time.
Oh, cool.
Blasted those guys.
Effective.
Super effective.
Oh, and it refills at the bottom of the screen. I see. So it's a cooldown thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Getting little Triforce pieces. More divine shards. Oh, okay, I see. So the divine shards refill your thing. It's not a cooldown. You just run out.
And you got some fire essence. I assume that's what recharges your rings.
Yep. Yup.
All right,
God,
so
I love the fucking the quote unquote shotgun. It's just great.
yeah, their version of a shotgun. It's pretty satisfying to watch you reload it with your little
rocks.
with your little pimpering on your hand.
Unity.
Kiss the ring, zombies.
Darkness. Darkness. Evil motherfuckers.
You and your brothers. Twin brother darkness. Now you got to remember, there was no Wesley Snipes. We were the blackest dudes on the planet.
When we were kids,
in his eyes.
When we were kids, it was just all Dave Chappelle quotes and Napoleon Dynamite quotes.
I saw that online the other day. Somebody was like, you realize that our memes was just us shouting either Dave Chappelle quotes or Anchorman quotes back and forth through the hallways of school. Like,
so
that was us sending memes to each other.
In high school, I would pretend to sell drugs to people.
Hell yeah.
I would give someone $1 or something. Well, actually, no. I would pretend to buy drugs from people.
I was gonna say, it doesn't sound like you were a drug dealer if you were the one with the money.
They're the ones giving me the drugs. I would slip a buddy a $1 bill in the hallway, and mind you, this is a small school, a few hundred kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the town, the population of my hometown was 2,000.
Sure.
Not a big school. So whatever happened in the hallways, all the administrative staff, all the teachers, they heard it happen because we're all right there.
Plus, you're kids,
fucking
and you're not
crammed.
slick.
No,
Like, these are adults. You ever see a kid try to be sneaky around you? It's so stupid. They're dumb. Kids are dumb.
So I'd slide him a $1 bill and I go, "Here's the money for the drugs," as loud as I could, and I just get dirty looks from the teachers. I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm not doing anything.
I'm just messing.
I'm just fucking with you.
Just joshing.
Just giving you a hard time.
Come over here. Search me for drugs. I dare you. It'll be hilarious.
It'll be funny." And that was my thing when I was a kid, is I would get in some trouble. Nothing ever serious.
Never real trouble.
No, just,
Never bad trouble. Just fucking with somebody.
Just being a pain in the ass. Just telling the teacher that her way is not written in the book. So why the fuck are we doing it like this?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you have your expertise and whatnot, but then why do we have the Algebra 2 book? If you're just going to go, there's actually a shortcut not written in the book, and I just made it up. Cool, can you write that down for me? Nope, you have to remember it. I fucking hate you.
It's been my experiences with math teachers that they tend to want to teach you their way of doing math more than they just want to teach the math.
Just teach the math.
They go, oh, I'm going to teach you geometry, and here's how the book wants you to do it. But I, who love geometry, know this way to do it, so I'm going to teach you this. And then you kind of can't reference it back with your book later at home, and it's just teach the math. Just teach the math.
Like, I understand what the book says, but that's a democratic liberal math, and I won't stand for it.
Okay, don't do that.
I did it.
Don't do that.
Already did it.
So dumb.
It was funny. So the algebra teacher and the history teacher, their classrooms were back to back, and they both had different political viewpoints, so they would argue all the time.
Sure.
Just in front of us. And I go, "This is fucked up. Is this what life's going to be like?"
Pretty
Yes.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. It's what life's going to be like. Don't talk politics at work. It's awkward. Kind of feel it out. You know what I mean? So we got a new guy at work, and I've kind of dropped some stuff. Really harmless stuff. Just to kind of see where he lands. And I go, "Oh, cool. We're on the same side. Tight."
He doesn't seem like a total prick.
Right.
That's nice.
We're gonna get along great. You got to feel people out, man. You know?
You do have to feel people out.
And you don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to say some shit that
Oh, I do.
super offensive. I know.
I do.
I know you do.
Why would I care? Think about what you're saying, James. You're saying
apparently I haven't.
You're saying.
Please explain to me what I mean.
You're saying you got to feel people out. 'Cause why? What's the worst case scenario? You offended a Nazi?
Right.
Are you worried about that, James?
Are you seriously worried about that?
There's a difference between putting yourself in a stupid situation, like getting surrounded by skinheads and saying some dumb shit.
Or bats. Or fucking bats and zombies.
But no, if you're out there in your everyday life and you're saying things that you believe in and know to be true, then yeah, absolutely don't be ashamed to say those things. Let the Nazis sort themselves out.
What I'm saying is that workplaces can be sensitive environments.
I guess.
And as the head goblin, I gotta kind of feel people out.
Sure.
I know that
Sure.
we're in different positions, but like I gotta work it out.
I'm just saying, don't tiptoe around it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't take long for me to stop tiptoeing.
Right.
As soon as I see an opportunity,
I'm mostly giving you shit here. Yes,
I know that.
Obviously.
As soon as I see an opportunity to really, really give somebody the business, I'm all over it. Like, oh,
Bits.
oh, good, I can fuck with this guy. I've known him for 2 weeks now.
And not even
That's all it takes.
Not even like a mean. We say fuck with, not in
Right.
a mean way. Literally just doing bits.
Right.
I want to know if me doing stupid wordplay jokes is gonna be funny to you, or if you're just gonna think I'm a weirdo and make me feel bad about it. That's mostly what I'm talking about in these situations.
Right. Most of it's flirting with your coworkers.
Well, my dumb humor,
There's nothing gayer than a bunch of straight dudes.
nothing gayer. It's probably my most enduring quote.
We're just hitting on each other all day. Or, like, saying really mean, awful shit. Which is kind of like
Look,
flirting.
it vacillates.
It's kind of like flirting.
It's in the negging school of flirting, which is toxic as hell.
Right.
But yeah, if you're all straight dudes or straight married dudes, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
We're not bullying nobody.
No. A little. Sometimes a fucking weirdo comes along and I go, oh, I got to be mean to you. I have to actually be mean to you. And that's
Yeah.
where it goes back to where, like, are you really trying to tiptoe around?
No, I'm trying to make my strikes count to do maximum damage.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to do.
What's the meme? If you can't say something nice, say something clever but devastating.
You nailed it. You fucking nailed it.
Always.
Because that's the thing, and it's like we were talking about with like disrespecting teachers and stuff in school.
Right. Find what hurts. Really give it what for.
Not even that, but just like pick your spots, because you should question things.
Absolutely.
You should absolutely question things. Now, I'm a little different than you, and I think I had a little different experience in school than you did, although I went to just as small of a school as you. My mother was a teacher.
That's true. And that's an interesting wrinkle.
So I came to school
That's like being the pastor's daughter.
a little, I guess.
Extra slutty.
Don't do that. Don't slut shame.
Not at all. I'm just saying that, you grow up in that environment, you're gonna want some stuff. You know what I mean?
All right, moving on.
Hell yeah.
I had a point to make about teachers.
I'm just talking about myself now.
You really are. You really are. Oh, me and your therapist are going to have a field day. So, when I went to school, it was very much with the mindset of, like, these teachers work hard.
Right.
Do not be a little dickhead to them.
Sure.
And I hated kids who would derail class. I hated it. Because, one, most classes were fucking boring anyway. I just wanted to get through this stuff so we could have silent reading time or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
Because, obviously, classes can only go at the speed of the slowest student. I'm not bragging when I say I was never the slowest student.
Look, I understand exactly what you mean, because sometimes they had, we would have to read aloud, you know?
And you knew, everybody knew there were some kids who could and some kids who couldn't. And I'm not for making anybody feel bad about their particular skills.
I always felt bad because, Jim Bob just couldn't read very well.
Yeah, stop picking him.
And I go,
It's okay.
I'm like, this is fucked up. You shouldn't be,
Quit doing that to him.
this is fucking cruel and weird. Why are we doing this?
And it was always on some weird, like, nope, they've got to do it. And it's like, no, just let him practice at home and, don't make him an example every goddamn week in class.
It was even worse whenever we were reading a book that I had already read.
Oh, God.
And I go, this is, I'm digging deep here.
So it's going to take him a minute to get this red badge of courage, right?
We're going way back in time here. I'm thinking like 5th grade or something like that. I think.
Sure.
I think we were reading The Secret of Nim.
Okay, sure.
Great book. I read it in 2nd grade. Like when I was really pretty young still.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. They can only go so fast in school. So, like, you may have read that book in 2nd grade and moved on to plenty of bigger, badder books. Then you go to school and it's like, oh, we're still doing this.
Oh, we're still stuck here. Fuck me.
School was like being constantly stuck in the tutorial level.
Right.
Where you're just like, no, just let me do the game.
Let me do the game.
And they were like, no, practice your double jumps. No.
See, that kind of looked like something before I touched it, but it's so easy to overlook stuff in this game.
Oh, absolutely.
That guy's like...
I like bloody spikes, though.
He got stuck.
Those always play.
He got stuck. A lot of those in school, too. A lot of bloody spikes. More than you'd expect.
So really, I didn't get into arguments with teachers and stuff in school because I knew that they cared and they wanted kids to learn, and I knew how shitty little kids were about some of that stuff with disrespecting teachers and just not paying attention and all that stuff. I tended to just be quiet. I think I would just read or draw or just finish my work very quickly and then do whatever I wanted to do quietly.
I think my argumentative state of being in school came from like I had like a strong sense of justice when it came to what was correct.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, this is wrong. It's wrong me. You know, I got to correct this asshole. You know, the science teacher is also the baseball coach. He doesn't really give a fuck about what he's teaching. He just wants to play baseball. And I respect that. But right now, you're the science teacher.
So we're going to do some fucking science.
We're going to do some science. And Pluto's not a fucking planet, dog.
Pluto is no longer a planet. You know, it didn't even get to revolve around the sun one whole time. In the time it was discovered until the time it was no longer a planet.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
So let's not pretend that Pluto's always been a planet.
And
you can change. The beauty of science, the beauty, James, of science, as opposed to religion, is that when new evidence is presented, science changes its goddamn mind.
Did I tell you what that fucker did? What he did? Like,
Tell me.
He changed the test. So part of the test, we're like chapter fucking 4, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're on the solar system, learning about the planets. So obviously the number of planets comes up.
You're like spray painting ping pong balls and calling them Mercury or whatever.
This Houghton Mifflin book from 1984 is not up to date.
Right.
You know? So
and, like, the periodic table hasn't really changed, but some of the other stuff may have.
Some of the other stuff may have. They made some additions to it. And in the book, it listed the 9 planets. Pluto at the time, in 1984,
it's what
was...
we learned. We learned a mnemonic device for it and everything. My very important mother just served us 9 pizzas. Pizzas being Pluto in that mnemonic device.
Right. And at the time, this is the year 2000, they just discovered that Pluto is not a planet. Or I guess the scientific community came to the conclusion that, like, you know what? We jumped the gun. It just
got reclassified.
Not really a planet. It's a little small.
They're not saying it doesn't exist.
Right. They didn't say that it's no longer there. They just said it's not officially designated a planet.
They're like, hey, in the interest of naming things correctly, which is essentially all science is, the refinement of naming things correctly in a way that we can understand so that we can talk about them correctly and build off that knowledge together. Yes, some things are going to get reclassified now and then in the interest of making things more correct.
And as an undiagnosed autistic child in the 8th grade with a strong sense of justice, I said, this will not fucking stand. This is not current. This is not accurate, my guy.
You screamed into his face.
in front of everybody. Everyone made fun of me. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you get the why do you care so much kind of like
basically,
this weirdo. Like
other kids were like, will you shut up? All right, God, quit adding to this. We don't want to be here. We definitely don't want to talk to him.
Right.
You know?
You're prolonging all of this somehow.
So on the test, we had to list the 9 planets in order. And then he added to, this is printed, right? This is not, he didn't jot this in. He made the test. He made the...
Yeah, it's his test.
He made the answer sheet.
It wasn't the ACTs.
And it said, list the 9 planets, unless you're James, list 8. And I go, you know what? I'm good with that. That's fine. I'm actually, if that was meant to like hurt me or embarrass me, a couple of things. One, I'll never forget, and I haven't.
Clearly.
But it didn't really hurt my feelings. It just means I won, you know? In a certain way, I won that interaction. I at least got him
He knew he wasn't going to change your mind about it.
Right. And, you know, he went out of his way to basically embarrass me, but it kind of backfired because I would go, oh, cool, so I won.
Well, that's the thing about being right. You can't embarrass me for being right.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm right.
Right, I'm still right.
And the more you fight it, the dumber you look. So, checkmate, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now we have an awesome podcast, and you have standardized tests to fail. I don't know.
Oh, he's probably still coaching high school baseball because what else is he going to do? Why not?
Cool.
This fucking sweet gig. I guess, maybe.
If you like locker rooms and shit.
Oh, locker room talk. Ow. Ow. Who the fuck shot me?
What the hell?
All right, there he is.
We've been very angry this episode. We should end on something more happy.
Okay.
You know? What do you think's going to happen in True Blood?
I'm not angry. I'm just filled with rage. It's way different.
I'm just angry all the time. I was watching Daria.
Pissed.
And you know
absolutely pissed about it.
You know her dad, Jake Morgendorfer?
Yeah, sure.
How he just snaps into a rage.
Yeah.
Like mid-sentence. At the drop of a hat. And I relate to him a little more every day. There's an episode where he gets addicted to drinking milk because it's supposed to be calming him down.
And he's trying anything. He's trying fucking anything to calm down.
And he's just like, finally, I can have one thing to myself. Just I can enjoy milk. And by the end of the episode, it's all ruined for him. And His wife's like, you know, milk has a lot of cholesterol.
That's awesome. So what was your question about True Blood? What is my prediction?
What is your prediction? Because if people heard you last week, they heard some of the crazy stuff that happens, and they heard a little bit this week how now you're in season 4. So there's a few more seasons, but you're in it. You're in the thick of things. You know how the show is. So what do you think is going to happen, let's say, in like season 5?
I think, at least I hope.
Like, where are you at now? Kind of, what's some of the stuff you remember happening recently so we can all get back in the mindset of True Blood?
Sookie had a dream about having a threesome with Bill and Eric.
Not even that's one of the all-time dreams, too. Did you get it that it was a dream this time?
Yeah, I got it. It was pretty clear. Oh, shit. You have failed. Oof. Oof. Oh, where do I start? In some things, sure, I failed. You know? Anyway, threesome dream, great. I want that to be a reality. I hope it does become a reality. Probably won't.
Well, that's how the show gets away with stuff like that. It's like, well, we may not be able to do that on the show, quote unquote, but we can have a dream about it and show it anyway.
Let's talk about it. Let's unpack that.
It's called having your cake and eating cock too.
So that was neat. I wonder. I don't know what my prediction are because the show throws curveballs at me.
It does. That's why I'm interested in your thoughts.
I liked Bill for like the first 2 seasons, and then season 3 Bill happened, and I started to not like Bill. And then season 4 Bill happened. And I go, Bill fucking sucks.
Fuck Bill.
For a moment there, Eric was cool. Now Eric sucks. So now Bill and Eric both suck.
Wait, why do you think Eric sucks?
Oh, I just think he sucks. He's back to the way he was before he got his memories back.
Oh,
but
yeah.
when he didn't have his memories,
when he was being all nice,
when he was being all nice, he sucked then too. Because I'm like, God, you're such a fucking simp.
The only thing I hated more than some of the stuff they did with Bill was when they made Eric nice. I hated nice Eric.
Right.
Defeated his whole purpose. He was like anti-Bill. That was his purpose in the show.
Right. You're the anti-Bill. You're the anti-Bill Skarsgård. It's your full name. Skarsgård.
Your grandpa's guitars. This for pussies and grandpas.
Just how his fingers are constantly moving.
Just constantly moving.
I love it. I love it so much.
You think it's been an angry episode? I think it's just been
we got back lighthearted. See how we're laughing now?
I think it's been an emotional episode.
Yeah, has it been? Was that emotional for you?
I got some shit out. I worked some shit out. I don't go to therapy. I have a podcast.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, you could make a fortune if you just pretended to be a podcast network and just let these white guys come in and air all their problems in a soundproof booth.
Let it out.
And then just never broadcasted the episode.
A couple of guys are like, can you not record that? Yeah, absolutely. And then record it.
Print up fake numbers for them and be like, look, you guys are on the top of the podcast charts.
You're number 1 in good pods. It's just a fucking Excel sheet that says good pods at the top.
It's like...
then their name number 1.
All right, so it's Shutter Island for podcasters.
What the fuck's going on all the time?
I've been doing this true crime investigation. It's like, no, you haven't, buddy.
No, you haven't. No, we're just playing. We're just doing some science experiments.
Oh, I want to do it. Podcast equipment should be more expensive.
Are you telling me Pluto hasn't been a planet this entire time?
It was a planet for a while. There was like 70 years where it was a planet. It's fine.
My whole worldview has changed.
Didn't a whole dumbass state pass a law that says Pluto's still a planet? This is how anti-science we just are as a culture. How contrarian we are. Where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you ever cared about Pluto, you feel so strongly about someone suggesting something different than what you heard when you were 5
right.
that you need to fucking pass a law about it. Are you stupid?
Pluto's not a planet unless you live in Wyoming, then it's a planet.
I think it's literally like Arizona or Nevada or something. Wherever Pluto was discovered.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Or the discoverer of Pluto, wherever he's from, they wanted to honor him or some shit. Because they have so little going on in that state that they need to hold on to everything they've got.
And I bet this whole time you thought I was going to put a clip in from Rick and Morty. And I refused because Justin Roiland's a piece of shit.
Justin Roiland can burn in hell.
So... no Rick and Morty clips. I won't stand for it.
Fuck that. Fuck a Rick and Morty clip. We'll do a Simpsons clip in every episode before we do that.
Damn straight.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Art, what the hell are you saying?
That's Latin, Dad. The language of Plutarch.
Mickey Mouse's dog?
This game's cool. Wizordum. It's on sale on Steam.
Wizordum.
It's on sale. Buy it. And if it's not, it's $20.
Support your indie game developers.
Absolutely.
Support small podcasters. Support any art or creativity that you like. It's the only way we get more of it.
And go ahead and smash that bell, like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it.
Do you agree to the U.S. Army? Thank you, yes, sir.
Couldn't give a fuck.